Everyone, this is the third and the final video for Standard 10 Literature Poem 9 Gold Medals. Here I'll finish the explanation of the stanzas and then I'll share with you some analytical views of the stanzas. So listen very carefully, children, and the way I said earlier also, you note down the meanings, important line meanings. So let me read. Then all the 9 runners, stanza 7, then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued. The 100 meters reduced to a walk. So as if the good gesture they had shown was not enough. What good gesture they had shown? They stopped in between. In stanza 6 we have seen they stopped in between the race, middle of the race. They came back, they all aid, they helped the youngest one to lift him and then to show so that he could stand. But even after that, the good gesture they had shown was not enough. They all joined hands and continued, and this time they did not run. They were runners, but they did not run. They just walked. They walked in unity, in togetherness. Note the words. The 100 meters reduced to walk. It means that now there was no competition and the distance of 100 meters could still be covered, but it would be reduced or lessened or made easier by walking. It would be done in collaboration with everyone reaching the finish line at the same time. Next 2 lines. And the banner above said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. So the poet creates an image here. As the 9 athletes walk together, we see a banner above them. We can consider that we may be the spectators, maybe the poet. Okay, the poet, earlier also he said. So they saw, or poet says, a banner above them with words Special Olympic written on it. And we realize that these words are apt. They are perfectly suited to the situation. Through this exemplary show of humanity and understanding, the athletes have indeed made the Special Olympic really a special one. Stanza 8. That's how the race ended with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and the banner above and 9 smiling faces said more than these words ever will. Said more than these words ever will. The poet says that at the end all of them came to the finish line holding hands. In appreciation and support of their noble act, they were all given gold medals because they had won the race of life, the race of human values. As they stood with smiling faces and the banner over their heads, the joy, the pride and confidence on their faces and in the hearts of all the spectators conveyed more than what the poet may have conveyed through his words in the poem. Now the poet intends to say that this is a simple poem with a powerful message. The poem celebrates the qualities of empathy, compassion, generosity, selflessness. So I hope you all understood. Now children, in your workbook also some notes have been given like literary devices. I have not separately written, like repetition is there in the poem. In last two lines you see that repetitions of one line repeated. So in order to convey the fact that the Special Olympics were really special, the poet uses repetition as a device of emphasize, to emphasize that it is really a special Olympic. It is really special. To convey that, poet emphasizes by using one line twice. Then there are uses of alliteration. Some of the places you will get, so that all these are already mentioned in your workbook. So I expect everybody will go through the workbook. Here the style is simple lyric, that is also written in your workbook. Then the theme of the poem. So all this you will go through from the book. Then the critical appreciation, how apt the title is. All these you will go through. Now let me tell you some detail of the stanzas, like the how can we analyze these stanzas. So you just have patience and listen to this. This also are helpful for you. So you can keep what I said previously, keep the screenshot of this particular places also, or you listen directly. Now see, the first and second stanzas of the poem capture the grand scale of the event, as well as the effort that has been put in by the athletes. We are told that the athletes had come from so many countries to vie for the gold, for the silver, and the bronze. This indicates the grand scale of the event, how grand it is. The athletes had trained for weeks and months in order to realize their dreams. The first two stanzas effectively capture the dreams and aspiration of the competing athletes and describe the effort they had put in the form of month training before the game. The second and third stanzas capture the great gusto and fanfare of the event, with the spectators gathered around the field cheering for their favorite athletes. The loudspeakers blare out calling the names of the players, all of whom enter the field, determined to win the race. They take their positions, alert and focused, eagerly waiting for the sound of the gun. The fourth and fifth stanzas capture the climax of the narrative. Note the quick pace of the rhythm which mimics the climax. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the players on hearing the sound. So the players were also exploded. They too exploded. The players too exploded. Also note the rhythm of the lines, which creates momentum for the race to begin. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners on hearing the sound. The manner in which the players sprint off is compared to the explosion of the gun, which recreates the atmosphere of the race with an effective oral imagery. However, the youngest among the players staggers on and falls on the ground, giving out a sharp cry. All his and dreams have been shattered and his efforts wasted. The sixth and seventh stanzas describe how the competitors made the compassionate gesture of helping their fellow athlete instead of focusing on winning the gold medal. Roth emphasizes that the athletes were the same ones who had trained for so long to compete. This collective gesture of empathy and goodwill leads to a fellowship due to which the 100-meter race is reduced to walk. It is here where Roth slips in the fact that the incident had taken place in Special Olympic Game, and furthermore does so by making the point an incidental one, by placing this fact right at the end and not the beginning, rather very skillfully shifts the focus from the condition of the athletes and place it on the magnanimity of the gesture. In appreciation of the compassion and empathy, all the athletes are awarded the gold medals, and the event ends with not one but 9 gold medalists. Roth ends the poem by conceding that words can't express the generosity of the gesture of the athletes who made it possible to convert an individual's tragedy into collective happiness. We live in a world where phrases like a rat race, a dog-eat-dog world are frequently echoed by the hollow echo chambers who walk amidst us. This world of ours is also fraught with weather-worn folks who repeat axioms like life is a race and egg on their kids to run faster and fulfill their sole task of turning the wheels more rapidly in a laboratory of life. 9 gold medals transcends such verbal garbage, masquerading as sound advice to show that life is much more than just a race. That with cooperation and fellow feeling, we can create something more beautiful, meaningful, and greater than our immediate individual selves. So children, I hope you understood the poem. Now listen once, twice, thrice, as many times you want, and then start writing the answers.